We're at 4236 Forest Avenue in Norwood, Ohio, and we're doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're going through the rear PVC stack. All the stacks have been replaced; they're all PVC, and we're going through the kitchen stack on the very back of the house, next to the basement walkout. And we're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that would be of concern to the buyer. We're going to try to go through this back stack first. This is the kitchen, so it's usually the dirtiest. But what I'm looking for is hoping to be able to get all the way through, thinking that it goes out the front of the house. So this would be the farthest back, or the farthest away from the stack, from the main, which means we'll be able to inspect the most pipe here. But looks like this is, but I'm not sure. It looks like as we go down, as soon as it turns, there is a separation right here at the base of this stack. I wish I could run some water from the top of this and kind of see where it's sitting, because it actually looks like it's right where it turns. So this looks like it's right at the base. So if you look, we're hanging vertical now. And as soon as this hits down here, we start to turn to go horizontal. And then where those two pipe connections originally are, there's a separation, which means this water is probably running right down into the ground here. The bad part is I can't get I'm not going to be able to get my camera to jump that, because it is such a large offset, and since there's space in between the two, my camera's just trying to make that turn, and all it does is it's just hitting that separation there, as you can see. So I'm unable to make that jump, get into the pipe. So good news is there's other access points, and so we'll try the next access point, but that will be something that I'm going to pause and go get my locator just to verify what direction this is heading, and so we can mark that. See, we hit the base, we start to turn, and there's a separation. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video so I can go out and get my locator, and we're going to locate this spot before we continue on. Okay, so it is turning back towards the inside of the house. It's right at the base of the turn, and it's 6 to 8 inches deep to the top of the pipe here. I'm going to take a little small piece of tape, but there's a bundle of old shingles sitting here that is pretty difficult to move. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape next to that bundle of shingles here. So we can show right about where that is. But now I'm going to pull back out of here, and I'm going to make a move to the other stack, which is only maybe 10 feet away, in the center, the rear center of the basement. So may come back to this and see if we can run a little bit of water. And so I'm going to pause this again for a second so I can make a move. Okay, we've resumed going from the other stack in the center. I've also put a standoff on the camera. Okay, I'm going to show around again. And there's the steps coming down from the stairs. There's the basement. I'll go ahead and turn the microphone off. Okay, so now this looks like where they made the connection from the PVC to the clay. It is correct that they have a hub, so it's not, you're not seeing open ground. That is like a fernco, like a rubber coupling that is mating the PVC to this next pipe. So we are continuing past there as it makes a turn. Hoping that I can get past this. Looks like we're going to have another. Looks like it has like a double turn here. Looks like it turns right into a T and then it doesn't want to go out. Some more separation. We're going to have to look at that a little bit more on the way back. This is just, I think I'm going to pull back and take that standoff off the camera here. This is a little worrisome. It's getting a little tight in spots where the pipe is shaded, so we don't want to have this thing come off in the line. So. Okay, so that's removed. Try to go back through this again. Here's that section. It looks like the water is making it through that hub. And as we make the turn and it goes into this T, this is going out towards the street here. We have some buildup. It's kind of hard to tell what that is. But that is pretty high. But I'm not sure if I'm going upstream or downstream at this point. I could have went the wrong way in that T. So I'm going to stop and get another locate here. Take a look at it and see what direction I've gone. Okay. Looks like we're going towards the we're going over towards the laundry, so we're going to have to make a turn here. See if we can go anywhere, but I don't know what all this stuff is here. I'm going to try to run some water in the stationary tub and see if it comes back at me or if it comes downstream. I'm not 100% where the line leaves the house, if it goes straight out the front or if it goes out the side. What may have happened is I may have gone the wrong direction in that T, and this may be an old disconnected downspout where it used to be tied into the sanitary, and it no longer is, because I'm not getting any, I don't see any water so far. I'm actually going to walk outside and see if I can see a downspout at this point. So I don't see any water coming this direction. And I think I went backwards in a T, and by doing that, I'm going up an old abandoned line. And I'm also going to try to run some water in the kitchen and see how that affects this. But I'm going to pause the video again just so there's not a bunch of dead air space here. Yeah, I believe I'm going up into an old downspout line. That's why I'm not getting any water from the kitchen or from the stationary tub. So, I'm going to try to pull back here and try to go the opposite direction. And that T is right here. Yeah, see, I think I'm going straight across, and I need to be turning here, and I'm going straight across into an old downspout line, and that's the problem. Yeah, you can see it's supposed to be turning here, but it's not. It's going straight across into an old downspout line. You can see the connection across, and you see where the water is flowing by. Okay, so problem here is now I have to also make another move and go over to the other main stack, which is on the right side center of the basement. See if we can get from there out. And we'll continue running this water so that we can try to follow where it is we're going and keep the camera lens clean. But this is somewhat of a common issue with these old houses. These are a lot of T's. There's a lot of. It doesn't say anything about the plumbing's functionality. It's just that sometimes they did that with the crosses, and nowadays everything's kind of wide in, so it promotes the camera to go towards the direction of the flow. And so it's easier to make sure you're always going downstream. So at this point, we've gone through the rear stack for the kitchen, and that has a separation right at the base that's preventing my camera from going through and probably allowing a lot of water to leach into the ground right there. And then we've gone through the center stack, and that comes over to get into the main line going out, but it goes straight across into an abandoned downspout line. Yeah, go ahead. And so now we're going to make a move over to the main stack. This also has the dip tag on it. It's the Y for the bathrooms. Well, for one of the bathrooms. And so we're going to try to go in through this last one here, and hopefully we can get the rest of the line inspected, and we can have a discussion about the other parts. Again, we have the water still running in the stationary tub. There's the stationary tub with the water running. There is the stack. That was a lot better transition between pipes, as you can see. That one's a lot smoother. Okay, so there is the branch where the stationary tub is coming in. So now we can kind of follow it. Hopefully we can kind of see where I was talking before, where the line crossed and we went straight over. It does look like maybe it's heading out towards the back. What we'll do is we'll go as far as we can, and then we'll turn the water off, and we should be able to see better on the pullback. Do have a little bit of roots here, just barely into the flow line. It's not obstructing anything at the moment, but obviously the more that grows, that can turn into a blockage and catch stuff. This is not uncommon, especially on a house this age with this material. This is clay. These stacks are PVC, but once it gets underground, it switches over to clay. See a little bit more roots. These are things that will need regular maintenance. The roots need to be either cleaned mechanically, or you could also treat them with a chemical. The chemical is a little more of, you're not really sure if you're cleaning it. You flush it down, the water carries it like a foam. It attaches to the roots and kind of burns them back, so they're not causing an issue. Or you can have this cleaned out, usually every 3 to 5 years if you have a mechanical cleaning done. That usually takes care of everything also. The roots don't grow faster than that, as long as it's cleaned well. This part of the line and structurally everything looks good so far. I know we do have some water in there, so like I said, we'll turn that off, and as we pull back, this should drain down, and we should be able to see a little bit better on these spots where we're pushing water up against the camera lens. And if not, I will be able to put the skid back on the camera, and I should be able to make it down through this pipe relatively easily. I do want to note that the camera lens is only about a quarter to a half an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so this is not much water. So with the water flowing, it's not covering the lens in most cases, which is a very good sign. It should be about a 6-inch diameter pipe, and so half an inch of water is pretty consistent. So what you would expect. Some more roots. Yeah, you'll definitely want to have it cleaned or treated, maybe jetted. Here's a pretty big root ball and root spot. And I'm not sure if there's actually mud in that, but I'm going to note that it's 77 feet. I'm going to, when I pull back, I'm going to locate that also so we know exactly where that is, since we're so far out. There's another one. Pretty large root ball covering half the pipe. Almost seems like a different material. Not sure what that is, but now we're 81 feet, so we're only one section or so off. There is a lot of roots. It definitely needs a cleaning. Probably getting ready to drop into the main here from above. That's why it looks like we're going to go direct and vertical. So we'll probably drop straight off into the main here. Yep, and there we are dumping into the main. So, we have made it all the way to the sanitary main. Which is a good sign. We made it all the way out at 115 feet. And between here and about that 80, maybe 90 feet mark, most of it looked really clean. The water does look brown, so you could have a situation with some of these roots. Without them being cleaned, it's hard to tell if they've done damage to the pipe, or if they're just coming in through the seams and the finger roots and can just be, treated repeatedly. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the water off here. Wait for it to drain down. So it's going to take a few seconds for this to go down. Structurally, most of the line looks good. It's held its shape. I don't see anything collapsed. I mean, the roots can always, they get in time and time again. Especially in old clay lines like this. This is really common. So what you're really looking for is that, how you can kind of see in front of us, it's coming in from the edges, which means that they're just getting into the seams, and they will continue to do that unless you either line it or dig it up and replace it. But it's not uncommon. So you have choices whether you want to maintenance it every few years, or spend a ton of money to dig it up and replace the line, or to line it, which is a lot of times those are fairly similar in cost. But again, you have one here. Looks like got another seam. There's another seam. I believe we're going to come up to one here, about 81 feet. That was the big one. There's that. Kind of looks like that may be loose. It is. So some of it got broken loose there, maybe. But we're still going to go out. We're going to get a locate here at this point, right about here. Because that could easily catch toilet paper or any other material and cause a blockage. So I'm going to pause the video here and go out and get a locate. And we'll mark this.
Does it come like above the doors? Maybe. At some point.
Okay, so this is marked. It's out front, out by the.
Hey Marco, what's going on?
This is short.
Just fantastic.
Out by the driveway. Sorry, just inside the driveway. And it's about 4 foot deep so far. To the top of the pipe, and so we're going to continue. As you can see, the water is subsided. Now we've had it running, or we turned it off. It actually did drain through the line.
Any one of those days.
Again, that's going to need to be clean there.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't really.
Sounds good.
I'm seeing what is concerning to me at this point is it kind of looks like that's mud right there.
No, I appreciate you.
And I'm pulling back through. It could be old dried out material that has gotten wet again, because you can see all this in this area. Roots and mud.
Oh, is that what you were saying for Central?
That was about 4 feet behind the mark that's already out there, so I will make a mark for that measurement. Here's another one.
Paint. Holy shit. We have to get rid of all that paint?
And I think that there may be, I can't tell without the roots and dirt being cleared away here, but there may be an opening here. I just saw a bug come in. Looked like a centipede or something come in through that, out of the mud there. Clean that camera off here. Yeah, just a little bit right here. I let it drain back down. I was running it on full push out. A lot of root spots in there. That looks like mud in there, doesn't look like there's roots. So there may be a hole behind the roots. But see, that's where on the other one, I can't wait to go back over there.
What? Oh, okay.
We're gonna have to run some more water to clean the camera off.
termite stations are
Okay,
out
so
around.
you can see we've pulled all the way back. There are, small amounts of roots that are coming through most of the connections, which are about every 3 feet. And those kind of go all the way back to the opening. So, you'd probably have to have this cleaned, or not probably. You need to have it cleaned, and then also a little bit more maintenance every few years would be needed. I have a little bit of concern for that spot out about 70 feet or so, between 70 and 80 feet, where there's some buildup of mud, and it's hard to tell if it is fully just old material from the house being empty, or if that is actually mud. And without that being cleared, it's unidentifiable at this point to know if there's a hole in the pipe there, and that's how the roots get through. If they're just slowly making their way through, a loose connection where the packing has been, has degraded over time and allowed the roots in. So we're going to end the inspection here for 4236 Forest Avenue in Norwood.